And we are back on the music podcast. We have a special guest this week, Adzii Boii, and we start every episode off with over or underrated. So I'm going to put to the guys, say some artists. They're going to tell me if they're overrated, underrated, or maybe they're rated just fine. My first artist to throw at them is going to be 21 Savage.
Probably overrated for me. Overrated for me. Just a bit bland.
Westwell?
Um, hmm, I'd say underrated,
AJ Tracy.
overrated.
Yeah, probably. I don't. Probably an okay for me. And really does it.
He's rated fine, Adzii Boii. He's just rated.
I rated fine for me.
Jack Harlow. Looks a bit like Westwell.
I haven't got the curly hair today, so not at the moment. I'd say overrated.
Admittedly, I've not heard enough of him. I've only heard a couple of songs, so where it should be.
Where he should be. Bugsy Malone.
Underrated, I think.
Yeah, underrated. Finally agreeing with Rachel.
I'm going to finish with Ice Spice.
Underrated.
Favorite shares again.
Right, we're going to move straight into some question for Adzii Boii, our Scottish rapper joining us today. Adzii Boii, have you ever watched a performance that's completely changed your perspective on music and you've just been like, wow?
I just think, in some regards, yes. I just think you enjoy it much more when it's live, and you could probably appreciate much more music when it's live. So if you've not really heard somebody before, you'll like them if you hear it live first, if that makes more sense. But in terms of the performance, I just think you need to bring that energy. So, me growing up, it was obviously watching Eminem and stuff like that, hence why I'm into the rap so much. And that was a dream for me to see him performing live. So I like Eminem, and that done it for me growing up. And I think you do need to bring that energy to the stage.
100%. What an artist as well. Just globally, just adored in his songs and what he does. What's the weirdest place you found inspiration for a song?
The weirdest place, I think if I share this, I think I'm covering this, answering this correctly, right? But what's weird about me is a lot of my songs, by the way, are written when I travel. So a lot of my songs are just written on a plane. So that's probably pretty weird in itself if you think about it.
You get on the plane, you're like, I know I'm going to write a song today. Is that kind of the
100%, because sometimes I'm traveling to like South Korea to work, and that can be 3 flights, and one of the flights can be 10 hours. So I just kind of load my phone up with 50 to 100 beats, and I'll maybe never have heard any before, and I'll put them on, and I'll skip, and if one hits me straight away, I just kind of know the words just start flowing.
I've
So
never,
that's kind of
never heard an artist like do that, but I guess it's a great time to do it because you're kind of in your own head, and it's quite a weird experience, I think, going on a plane. So actually, that it does make sense, to really use that time.
Admittedly, when I was younger, I didn't enjoy traveling. I didn't enjoy flying. Probably a bit scared, if I'm honest. So it was also a distraction, but a distraction that became a habit that I really enjoyed doing. So it worked out for me. But yeah, I don't find myself writing a lot of songs on the couch, for example. A lot of my stuff's done when I'm traveling. So that's probably where I get all my inspiration, which is probably pretty weird in itself.
If I was a fly on the wall for one of your sessions where maybe you're recording or you're putting down to beats, what would surprise me most about how you work?
I think it's the way I record, and it's an overcritical thing. And I'm sure loads of artists have their own ways of being overcritical of themselves. But when I started out making music, I would pick up on every single little flaw that my audio engineer wouldn't pick up on. So let's say it wasn't a flaw, but it was something I didn't like. So I started recording in little snippets, and I still do that to this day because I feel like I get less mouth clicks and noise. So I'll go on stage and I'll perform a full song, and as it's supposed to be done. When I record it in little 4 to 8 bar bits, and then we put it all together for the actual song. And that's probably not how many rap artists do it, but that's how I like to do it because
So in terms of that, I want to buy into that. Like, how do you know when a song's finished and ready to be released? If you're that real perfectionist picking up on these things, how do you know when it's ready to go?
well, I get 3 revisions, so it's largely to be in these 3 revisions. I do try to be as prepared going in the studio, right? Like I've got an idea in my head of what I want it to sound like, but in fairness, I'm not the professional doing the mixing and mastering. Even though I used to like mix, I never mastered, so I never tell them what I want. And sometimes you're surprised and they come out with something amazing that you never expected. Otherwise, they'll put something that's always good, and then I'll start throwing out little ideas. And sometimes I'll get it wrong, so I'll be like, "Oh, I want to repeat this part, and I wanted to like reverb and all that here," and they'll do that in revision 1, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, that was horrible. Take that off." So it's really just being ready for stage 1 because these guys are busy as well, and they don't have all the time of day to spend on you as well. So yeah, that's kind of how I make sure they get it done. I've got an idea of what I want before I kind of record it and take it from there. So I include, sorry, I just got to say, I include stuff like, like the sound effects and all that in my like lyrics notes, which is a bit weird because I'm obviously not saying the sound effect, but it's all there, ready to get put together in one piece, if you will.
I love that. That's so good. Okay. And recently you premiered your new song Promise. It's an incredible, absolutely incredible kind of a song, and what you've done with that is incredible. What was the inspiration behind it?
Well, like I touched on earlier, a lot of the time I'll find a beat maker and that I like, and I'll take a lot of the songs away, and I don't have like I need to write a song about this or I need to write a song about this. I literally get lost in the music or in the beat. So almost everything I do is credit to the people that make the beats rather than just credit to myself or whatever, or credit to the audio engineer. It's the beat that brings it out of me. And being a rapper, obviously, I don't sing a lot, but there's a lot of singing in this. And just when it hit those rhythms, and it's kind of like a reggaeton dembo vibe, I must have just got those kind of love emotions in my heart, and it just kind of it's almost like a freestyle when you like this. It kind of writes itself quite quickly, and then you jot down a rough draft, and then you might go back and tidy it up. But really, for me, the emotion just comes out with the beat. And I'd say that for most of my songs, if I'm honest.
I love that, mate, and it's so interesting to hear the story behind it. And it is a bit different, and I like it a lot, mate. It's an absolutely fantastic tune to put on, and one I think is going to really stick. So it's been fantastic. But I want to bring Westwell in. Westwell, we have been inundated with, I'd say, statements rather than questions from last week.
Oh dear.
I have a guess about what a lot of people were asking.
I have no idea.
They feel very, very passionate that Ed Sheeran is not overrated.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Sorry, guys.
do you have any? Do you have a statement you'd like to say back?
No, not at all. No, it's my opinion. I stick by it. Yeah. Not really sure what they want from me.
We had. It's very hard to go through these questions and find ones I can actually ask this week for Tom. we've actually got someone called Tom that's asked this and said, "Can you tell Westwell if he was a genre, it would be lo-fi garage house trapcore?"
All right.
Do you agree with this? Do you agree with Tom?
Yeah, I agree with that. I wouldn't. Yeah, seems like a nice mix of genres there. It seems all right.
I think it would definitely be different. I feel like, obviously, when you were back in the band, how would you know when a song would be ready to finish? Is there a certain point where all the guys are like, yeah, we're good, it's done now, we're good to go?
Well, for me, yeah, I think when I think back to when we were doing our recording bits, I think we took a lot of takes to get stuff right. Especially sort of, guitar like solos on those bits. And I think we were quite good when we did them live, and then actually recording, we kind of tripped over ourselves a little bit. But I think like, yeah, once we sort of were just happy that, I don't know, it's a difficult one to describe, but like when you know, and when it sort of comes together, you can really sort of just sit there and go, yeah, like that's how if we were going to perform that live and we were going to do the best version of that song, that's how we'd do it. And then that's when you know it's kind of ready to go, I think.
But is there ever a moment where you think it's good to go and a band member will be like, oh, no, we need to change this or this? And what kind of things would they be?
I think for me on bass, I didn't really ever have that, to be honest, because I think the drums and bass, once it's down and you've got it right, it's quite, for us anyway, it's quite simple to just keep that. I think the guitarists, especially like solos, and they're like, do you know what, I just didn't quite get this bit of the solo right, or I just didn't get quite like, it could be something as simple as like, a little like a slide, and you're like, I just kind of wanted to be a little bit more in it. Once you get that right, and then that's fine. It's all good.
Interesting to learn about. Okay, fantastic. Right, I'm going to do my music marketing of the week. An artist that I think is just genius in what he done is the US artist Russ. And with his DIY domination, so he produced, mixed, mastered, and marketed himself. He was so consistent. He dropped a song every single week on SoundCloud, picked the best performing ones to build his own hype. And that volume really built trust. And that consistency was fantastic. And he had certain labels and managers and booking agents come to him, and he actually said, who can offer me the best? And his great advice to other artists is almost look down on them. What can they offer to you? Even if you might have been dreaming it for your whole life, that's the attitude to go in there with, which I think is incredible, really. I've never heard of an artist that drops every single week. But he said it's like a muscle and it gets better and better. Adzii Boii, is that something that you find the more you write, the more you play on music? Do you feel like you get better at your craft?
Definitely. Definitely. I don't like to even trash like the old music, you know what I mean? But it's hard to listen to your first song and, put it up to the same standards as your latest music. So definitely right. And it's some effort he went to do that, drop a song a week. That's that's some effort. But
Yeah.
I can understand the concept behind it. If you can do it, definitely the more frequent in that, yeah, the better chance you've got to make it to where you want to make it.
It's a clever way to do it, and he built a real big name in the underworld scene, really, and it did incredibly well. Well, I'm going to move on to Westwell's music quiz. It's going to be me versus Adzii Boii. Westwell, how does it work this week?
Right, it is guess the song quiz. I am going to read out some lyrics for you both. You are going to listen to those lyrics. I'm not going to sing them. They're going to be quite a deadpan delivery. You get a point if you can tell me the artist, and a point if you can name the song. Just shout out the answers as soon as you think you know it. There are no wrong answers, but there is only one right answer. So, yeah, if we're ready, we'll get started.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So, for all the times that you rained on my parade, and all the clubs you got in using my
Justin Bieber.
correct, and the song is. Shall I keep going?
Yeah.
You, you think you broke my heart? Oh, girl, for goodness sake. You think I'm crying on my own? Well, I ain't. And I didn't want to write a song.
Yourself.
Well done. Well done. 2 points, 2 points for Josh there.
Brilliant.
I've been trying to cool. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe. I'm going through withdrawals. I don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch.
Is that the weekend?
It is the weekend. Yeah, yeah.
That's keep going.
I still look around and Sin City's cold and empty. Oh, no one's around to judge me. I can see clearly when you're gone.
Is it blinding lights?
I'll give you that. Blinding lights. Yeah, here we go.
Or is it blinding lights? Yeah.
Yeah, 2-2. There we go.
Nice one.
Coming up, I was confused. Mummy kissing a girl. Confusion occurs.
Katy Perry?
It is 50 Cent.
What the?
So,
Oh well.
what's the song?
Daddy ain't around, probably out committing felonies. My favorite rapper used to sing, check out my melody. I want to live good, so shit. I sell dope for a 4-finger ring. One of them gold ropes. Nana told me if I passed, I'd get a sheepskin coat. If I can move a few packs, I'd get the hat. Now that'd be dope. I'll give you that. Hate it or love it.
As he was turning this around quickly.
It is 3-3. This is unbelievable level here.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, but let's go.
Couple man called me a backup dancer. On stage at the Brits, I'm a
Stormzy.
backup dancer. It is Stormzy. The man in your vids, backup dancer. The man in your pics, backup dancer. Man wanna chat about backup dancer. Big man like me with a beard. I'm a big man. How the fuck can I back up? It is Stormzy. It's like the biggest song.
I'm gonna kick myself when you tell me.
It is yeah. It's shut up. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do the little ad libs for this next one as well. So you're in for a real treat.
It's treating us.
If you're talking the hardest, gigs better pop up in your thoughts
What's
as an artist.
And
Jeez!
it's talking the hardest.
It is, yes. 6-3 currently. Robbo's got a little bit of a lead.
It was just teasing me, wasn't he? It wasn't.
Ring ring pussy, it's shut down. Fashion week, and it's shut down. Went to the show. It is Skepta.
Shut down.
Yeah, correct. Well done. Where are we now? Oh, we're on the last one. Should we do double or quits on the points here?
Let's do it.
All right.
Right. Yeah.
Came looking like a ganja farmer. Your daddy better hide his daughter. Shake her bunda just like I taught her.
J Hut?
Splash. It is.
Don't know the song. You go.
You want me to keep on going? Little spice for the winter season. Your chicken needs a little season. Did you see what he did?
Oh, did you see?
Yeah, correct. Well done there.
Maybe I just wanted to hear you. Maybe it was the thing you go.
Well done, Josh. You won that one. But defos for a little one.
Right, we are going to go on to reviewing some songs. So the guys here are going to mute themselves. they're going to go in the chat box, go on Spotify and listen to these songs while I tell you all about them. So fellas, if you go ahead and do that, this is called Run for the Shadows. It's by Taylor Hughes. And the song is all about the current state of the world and how it's worse than it's ever been. The topical question they want asked about is the topic of underpaid songwriters. And it's so true. Like, there's a lot of underpaid songwriters and it's not good. I feel like you need to set your price and be very firm and very hard on that and say, no, this is what I'm worth. And it is difficult because you will have to say no to business and walk away at times, but hopefully it will lead to you getting in the right places. And if someone's underpaid you, don't go back, try and find new places or recommendations. And I feel like it's all about being in the right room and knowing the right people. Like, some of the best songwriters I know are just constantly networking, constantly asking referrals. And they're very clever. It's not just, would you know anyone that's interested? It'll always be, can you introduce me? Can you CC me on an email? Which has a lot more success. I think this is in all walks of life for musicians, whether you're applying for a festival or you're a songwriter or whatever it may be, you're into a label. If you know someone who knows someone, maybe an old friend or LinkedIn or whatever it may be, if you get them to do the intro, the success rate is so much higher, so much higher. So it's a really difficult one. If you feel like you're underpaid, I definitely recommend going to speak to Help Musician. If they're just an incredible charity helping musicians with their legals side, with grant side, with just general support with their well-being. That's the first place I would go and speak to if I was an artist. And I found that something really interesting yesterday. If you're applying for grants through Help Musician, you can actually call them beforehand and ask them and be like, what are you looking for in this criteria? Give me some advice on applying for this grant. And they'll tell you, be clear, be direct, give you the criteria, which really gives you a help up. And that's something I learned yesterday. Right, I'm going to get the guys back. Hopefully they've had a chance to have a little listen. Adzii Boii and Westwell, what do we think of Run for the Shadows?
I go first on that one.
Go on then.
This, I don't want to be harsh here, but I'm gonna give it an honest critique. It needs a lot of work, and I'll be honest with you there. I liked the idea of it. I liked the ideas behind it, and that track could go quite well. It was very driving, and I like the message behind it. Vocally, very flat. Not the best vocal performance, if I'm honest with you. Not saying you can't sing, but I would give that another take. And the mixing, the mix of that was, I mean, the instrumentation was so dominant. It did not help that vocal performance. I think it was the vocals were quite flat and then completely washed out by the instrumentation. So yeah, but no, I like the message. I like the idea behind it, but I would consider trying that one again.
Adzii Boii, do you agree with that, or did you like it? What's your thoughts?
Truth be told, Josh, I didn't get the memo, mate. What? On my way to this. Was it Run for the Shadows?
Run for the Shadows by Tyler Hughes.
By Tyler Hughes. I typed it in. I don't know if I'm jumping back. Right, okay. Yeah, I've got it there if you want me to listen, but the truth is, I wasn't sure, and I was like, okay.
We'll get the next one, mate. We'll get the next one. So this one is Odd Time. It's by Juramento. To have a look at. It's in the comment box for you, Adzii Boii, if you want to take a look at. And we will tell you what it's all about. These guys will go mute themselves, take a listen, and I will let you know. So this song is about a man haunted by his troubled past, hoping for a brighter future. In terms of a topical question they want to speak about is, what's the best way to balance day to life with your desire to push and drive your musical goal? To be honest, we'll ask Adzii Boii this when he's back in a second. Like, it is so difficult for artists. Like, at the start, you're your own manager, booking agent, label, trying to produce and get the best music possible. And if I'm being honest, in an ideal world, you'd focus all of your time on your music because that's where you're good at. That's where your talent is, and that's where you should be pushing. But at the start, you don't have that. And it's important you learn your craft, have a basic understanding, know the terms, and then bring in a team that can help. And it is an investment, and whether that's time, whether it's money, and it is a sacrifice. There is no doubt about that, and it's hard. And I think when you're starting a business or you're a musician, you've got a full-time job, music's on the side, and it will slowly swap across if you're really consistent. And every brilliant musician I've ever worked with in the last 9 years has 3 things: great music, a great brand, and bloody consistent. They're turning up so damn consistently. And that is really the key, I think, if you're going to drive your musical goal and make that switch. At some point, you're going to have to jump, and you're going to have to make that commitment to leave the safe, secure job to go and do it. That is the way it is. And there's got to be talent there to be able to do that. Right, I'm going to bring the guys back and let me know what they think of Odd Time.
Like it. Yeah, I'm a fan of that one. Yeah, I loved it actually. I'll be honest with you. Very, very good. I loved the start of it. It sounded so like ominous. It sounds a bit odd, like the guitars and the drums, the way they start on that, and like for me, it sounded like a big diesel locomotive engine or something like that, like trying to get started, and it's like lurching into sort of into rhythm and lurching into sort of get going, and then it just starts and it's just bang. Sounded massive. Great track. Everybody should go check that one out if they're going to check one out.
I thought you were going to go full Simon Cowell today and just not like any of the songs being put forward.
No, I like that one. No. I'll be honest, I did like that one. I liked it a lot.
Adzii Boii, what did you think?
Yeah, I only caught the end of it. Thomas is saying, but yeah, seeming it went and it went right into the song, like after the intro or whatever, it just sounded so good. Probably not what I was expecting, and I never got through the full thing, but they sound so good on that rhythm that they've created.
Is that something you would go and listen to? Is that something you would have on your playlist afterwards? Or is it just a song that you respect and you go, that's great, but that's not for me?
Well, even though I'm a rapper, like I did like to listen to stuff like System of a Down growing up and stuff like that, and I'm hoping not to do this group of myths justice here, but that was the first thing that came to mind. Not that the sound is exactly like them, but to me it stood out, and obviously System of a Down had this standout characteristic with his vocal and these heavy drums and that. So yeah, like I rule nothing out. And I'll certainly be going back to check out their work after this. I love finding new bands or rappers or anything, and I'll give anybody a chance. I'll listen to a full album when I'm at my work. So yeah, big up that song. It was good to check it out.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I feel like as a musician, you're much more open to go, I want to listen to their full body of work, take my own opinion, digest that. With a lot of music fans, I feel like they listen to a single when it's a snap judgment and that's that. Westwell, are you in the middle? Are you someone that would go listen to a full piece of work and give it a chance, or are you making a quick decision and that's that?
I love music. I like listening to music, even if it's not for me or if it's not something I would, continuously listen to, or not something that I would attach to sort of like part of my identity. I will listen to anything, and I think that's sort of the right way to do it. I think the one thing with like music fans is they can get very tribal and very like, well, this is what I like, and if I listen to something and it's not within the sort of normal genre I go to, or it's different to a different band, or like, especially if there's like rivalries within music, for example, and people go for one thing and they're like, I'm not going to listen to the other thing. That's not me. I'm not listening to that. Oh, that's rubbish because it's not the type of music I like. I think that's quite a detrimental way to approach music. Listen to everything. Yeah, you don't have to like everything, but you can still enjoy music and appreciate it for what it is without thinking, oh my God, I love that and that needs to be who I am. So yeah, I'm definitely very open-minded.
It's a strong message, but also like your identity is attached to that. It's an extension of you, of what you like and your attitudes towards it. So it's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, like there's tons of pop stuff out, and like everyone loves a nice little pop song. Everyone likes a bit of Sabrina Carpenter. I'm not going to start there and go, oh, do you know what? I can sing along to the songs if they're on the radio, but I'm not going to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to start, going to her shows and being like a Sabrina Carpenter fan. But you can still appreciate music for what it is.
Adzii Boii, would you
odd one?
bring Adzii Boii on this? Would you ever dip into different genres? If you had, I don't know, a D&B DJ, house DJ, or other people wanting you on their tracks, is that something you'd openly give a go?
I would never force it. Like,
Yeah.
I would openly give a go to anything. I agree with Thomas, and I'd say, look, send it over. But much like I said earlier, it's put the headphones on, listen to the beat, and you'll know instantly if it's for you or not. You know, if you're playing it over 2 or 3 times to see what comes, you're possibly got to ruin a good track.
Yeah.
So you don't let.
It is instinct, and you'll know. Boom.
I think, yeah, for me, certainly, I'll know with the first listen if that's a track I'm going to work on. And I don't think you want any force writing. That's a very weird one for me, because obviously if a very top tier artist came to you, how can you possibly turn it down? But you're risking your reputation, in my opinion, by forcing something when it's not really coming to you.
If an artist came to you and was like, Adzii, could you write for me? Is that something you would find easy or find quite difficult to do?
I've been reading a lot about this recently as well with the old artists. I think you probably, if you know enough about them and their background, you could do it. But I don't think you could just step into anybody's shoes. You need to be able to appreciate the person, the stuff they've been through, and feel like I know enough about you that I could,
So
put
you
something.
want that feeling, you want that connection with someone in order to produce a good bit of work that you would put out.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Interesting. Right. We're going to move on to the last song, guys. This is DJ Electra, At Peace With Myself. I'll let you guys mute yourselves and go and take a listen to it. And we'll go through some bits. So this song is all about balance in life, which I love. Whilst the boys listening to take your look through, I just want to say it's been a real privilege. Myself, Tom Squirrell, the amazing artists we have on this podcast, and for you guys listening at home. It really makes us, it brings us a lot of enjoyment that we do it and bring it to you every single week. And we hope you get a lot from it. There's some entertainment, there's some education in there, and some really good conversations. We love it when you guys get involved, whether it's on the YouTube, the TikTok, on Spotify itself, and all the artists putting in their song requests. We absolutely love it. It's a real privilege to bring this to you every single week. And tell us the bits you like, tell us bits you dislike. We won't be offended. If anything, we'd really appreciate it here. It's incredible that we get to speak to you guys and have listeners all around the world. It's insane. It's unbelievable that you guys come on and do that. And something that we will never ever take for granted. Right, I'm going to ask the boys to come back. Westwell and Adam, what do we think of that song? They're still listening. Westwell, what do you think?
I liked the beat for that. The instrumentation on that was really nice. Different sounds, very like tropical, very summery. Nice. I liked it. I thought the lyrics crisp, clear. I liked the message of them. Again, maybe sort of. I think the rhyme sort of pattern of it. I don't know if I'm doing it justice talking about it. To be fair, I felt at some points it was a little bit predictable, but it worked still, and I liked it. And yeah, no, it's a good track.
Is anything wrong with being predictable?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think the way the track was put together, it kind of lended itself to it in a way, maybe.
Okay, Adzii Boii, what did you think, my man? What was your opinion on DJ Electra? You're mute.
Thank you. I get what Thomas is saying, of what I caught of him saying, but that's kind of like what I like. It might seem predictable, but I think it's just about flowing with it and enjoying it. I know that's a bit contradictory because there's a lot of rappers that build themselves being the most clever writer, but I like a tune I can vibe with. And ever since I've hit play on that one, my head was going and I could feel good vibes in that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, that was a nice listen.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Like, I didn't want it to. I didn't want to sound like I was saying, "Oh, it's just bad lyrics" or anything like that. It was predictable, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you're vibing with it still, and maybe it didn't need to be like a serious song with a proper like like message or like, you know, very intricate lyrics. It could just be, it's just fun, and that's all it needs to be at times, I think.
The way it makes you feel, surely that in the essence, that is what music's all about.
For me, yeah. But I can understand that there's people out there that like the technicalities of it as well, and you know, technical writers, and that's where some people might, you know, not enjoy the likes of what I do. But each to their own, isn't it? There's an audience for everybody, and I like to vibe, so that was a nice one for my catalogue.
That is the best way to end this show. That's exactly what you want. The way you feel and the way it vibes with, and that's all that matters to you. And everyone has their own opinion on it. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. And all our listeners at home, go check out Adzii Boii, his new single, his socials. You will not be disappointed. It's really, really exciting seeing him up and coming. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, mate. And Wes, what do we say?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. See you again next week.